Becoming an emotionally intelligent parent, day one. How are you doing today? If you are here with me, please quickly copy the link and share. Okay, so let me share the link of this video so that we can have people join us. So just give me a minute or two while I share the link so that we can have. We are back, becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. Week one. Yeah, it is what we are focusing. We want to take our responses from unintentionality to intentionality. You know, very many times for very many parents, I always say there's no parent that doesn't have a vision. We have a vision. We know exactly what we want. Because you have a vision, it is why when your children misbehave, you are actually reacting. Because you feel, no, my child, I don't want you to turn out to be like this. That is your vision. You have a picture in your head of the kind of child you want to raise. You don't want to raise a wayward child. You don't want to raise a child that has no discipline. It is why you respond the way you respond, because you have a vision. Unfortunately, our responses many times will not even best the child we want. That is the truth of the matter. Because we respond based on our emotions. We allow our emotion to influence, affect, determine how we respond to our children. If you want to get it right in parenting, the very first thing you want to work on is your emotions. Absolutely. That is the very first thing you want to work on. Because many times, very many people have knowledge. They know exactly what to do. Many parents know that, oh, and I'm not supposed to be doing this. But their emotions always get in the way. It is when you respond based on emotion that you don't get it right. That is the truth of the matter. So this is why, as parents, you need to always pause. I always say to parents in the Visionary Parent Academy, it is not an emergency. And when you have not worked on your emotions, you will not realize that it is not an emergency. Everything, it's an emergency. So today it's emotional awareness. That's the first week in the Visionary Parent Academy. We want to be aware of our emotions, because many times people don't even know, you don't even understand your emotions. You just respond without realizing you are responding from a place of your emotions. And when you respond emotionally, if you're a Christian, you know the story of Esau and Jacob, right? I shared a post this morning and I made reference to that. Esau was hungry. He wasn't able to reason. He wasn't thinking. And his decision was based on him not thinking. You also know the story of Herod and Herodias in the Bible, right? Herod was overjoyed. Now, one thing people always think about is that when we talk about emotions, we just talk about, anger. Yes, I understand that anger is part of emotion, is a very strong emotion. However, anger is not all. Okay, sorry about that. Network was doing shim shim. Okay, sorry about that. Network was doing shim shim. Okay, as I was saying that anger, yes, anger, we can see the result of anger. Many times it's a quick result. We see it online, people hitting each other, teachers abusing students, husbands bashing wives, they even do all sorts of manners. That is the immediate result of anger. It is why anger is always at the highest of it when we talk about emotional intelligence. However, other emotions can also be as sabotaging, as dangerous as anger. We see the story of Herod in the Bible, right? Herod and Herodias, because he was happy, he was overjoyed. He told his Herodias' daughter, mention anything you want. Mention anything you want. Now, because he was not thinking, he didn't pause to think, he forgot patterns. He wasn't able to think of things that probably had happened in the past. He wasn't able to think that, okay, each time I ask this girl for something, this girl is so close to the mom. This girl is likely going to meet his mom. He wasn't able to think like that. He wasn't able to think, okay, what if this girl tell me, okay, I want to be the king instead of you? Will I actually come down, relinquish my throne because of the girl? What if the girl just says that? Because I'm a king, my words are binding. He wasn't able to think along that line too, because he was just overjoyed. That is what happens. Our emotions can always get in the way. Yesterday, I was sharing with them in the Visionary Parents in the emotional, becoming an emotionally intelligent challenge, some of the emotions that can get in the way. We have fear. For example, as a parent, if you parent from the place of fear, you are going to sabotage your child a great deal. You see, parents, they don't allow their children to pick up opportunities. If you ask any parent, they'll tell you, oh, I want to raise self-responsible, independent children. But hey, because you have this fear, I don't want my child to get hurt, I don't want my child to do this, you are holding back. You want to raise independent children. You want to raise self-responsible children. You know that one of the ways to actually raise independent and self-responsible children. Thank you so much for joining. Please leave a message. I'll be happy to see a message from you. Welcome to live chat. Okay, I'll be happy to see a message from you. You know that one of the ways to raise independent and self-responsible children is by allowing them pick up chores around the house, right? Allowing them do things. Independence means you are doing things on your own. You can stand on your own and do things. How can a child become independent if the child is not being allowed to stand on their own and do things? It's not possible. It doesn't work that way. You want to raise an independent child, you must have your child, oh, good afternoon, thank you. You must have your child stand on their own. But many times, fear, because we are afraid, oh, I don't want my child to get hurt, you are not allowing them to stand on their own. You see, it's not just about anger that sabotages our good parenting intentions. A lot of other things, a lot of other emotions. We also have envy. You see people's children, you wish they were your children. You know, jealousy. It can be small. You know, at the end of the day, you start comparing your child. That thing goes a long way. Yes, anger is not all about emotion. That thing now goes a long way to influence how you parent your child. Then you raise a child with low self-esteem. You raise a child who doesn't have self-confidence. Why? Because you are comparing your child. An action that stems from envy or jealousy, emotion. We don't realize these things to do. We have another emotion, anxiety. You know, sometimes because you are running late, I shared it yesterday, because you are running late, you instead of you to allow your children to do what they're supposed to do, you don't allow them. You jump in the way, you do it for them. Okay, let's leave that for toddlers aside. Look at teenagers. Because you feel, oh, I'm running late, you are all yelling, you are all nagging, you are saying things you are not supposed to say when they are preparing for school. At the end of the day, these things are seeds in their hearts. They are seeds that we grow. Emotions. So our emotions are always at the bottom or the foundation of our emotions are always at the foundation of our actions, of our behaviors as a parent, whether you are even responding to your child alone or you are just behaving around your child, because it's not always about the responses to your child, also about your actions around your child. Your child is watching you, they are learning from you, you are planting a seed, you are impressing upon them. So your emotions, if you are someone who is overly dramatic, you know, like I was telling, I was talking to a group of parents one time. I also shared it in the Visionary Parent Academy also. I said, if you're a parent, for example, you have a shop, right? And you are always fighting people because you have no control of your emotions. Your children are learning from you. Your child is going to grow up becoming very disrespectful to you as a parent. You know why? Because, you know, something like see finish has entered. And they have watched people talk to you several times. They have watched you make a threat several times. You don't know me. I'm going to deal with you. You dealt no jack. So see finish will begin to enter. So your child stands up to you, yells at you, backs at you tomorrow. You'll be wondering, I've done everything right. Where did this come from? No, you didn't do anything right. You didn't do everything right because you were not in control of your emotion one time. So again, I said, becoming emotionally intelligent is one of the first things you can do as a parent if you are on an intentional parenting journey. You can't parent with random emotions. You can't parent with unchecked emotion. No, you are going to sabotage your best parenting interest. You are going to sabotage your child if you parent with unchecked emotions. Now, this is a becoming an emotionally intelligent challenge brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. It's a challenge that is for the entire month of February. We started on the 1st of February and we are going to wrap up the challenge on the 28th of February. Every day we have one challenge we carry out to help us become more aware, more conscious. And we're already getting testimonies already. A parent in the academy reached me yesterday. I wish she was here listening to me now. She reached yesterday. She was saying that, oh my God, because of the activity we had yesterday, that she knew exactly what was going on with her. She knew that, okay, my reaction now is not going to be because of what is happening around me, especially because of how I feel. So she was aware of her emotions, and that awareness actually helped her to respond differently from the way she was known to respond, for the way she would have typically responded. That is it. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean you don't discipline your child. It doesn't mean you don't have rules, you don't have regulations, no. It simply means that your actions align with your intentions. That is what being emotionally intelligent means. It simply means that your action as a parent align with your intentions. It simply means that the teacher who was slapping that boy several times for not being able to write 61 to 65, it simply means that the teacher's intention was for the boy to be able to write. If she was emotionally intelligent, she simply would have known that my goal is for this boy to be able to write and not traumatize the boy. That was her intention. So she would have aligned her intentions with her action. I want the boy to learn, right? That is the goal, not to traumatize the boy. So she would have been able to find a way to make sure her actions were leading to her intentions. That is it about being emotionally intelligent. It simply means that, the husband or the wife at home who is hitting the spouse, because of one thing, maybe you don't respect me. It simply means that the husband and the husband knows that what I want is this woman to respect me. I don't want to brutalize the woman or abuse her. I just want her to respect me. Then he will sit back and ask himself, how do I make my wife respect me? That is the goal. That is my intention. My intention is not to harm her. Like the other story we heard the other time, the man who set his wife on fire. His intention may be for the woman to stop doing some things that he wasn't comfortable with. That was his intention. His intention was never to be on social media for the wrong reason. His intention was never to send his wife to the world beyond for whatever reason. So he would have probably sat there. If he was emotionally intelligent, he would sit down and strategize how to get his wife to get what he wanted from the wife, and not the other thing he did. That is, being emotionally intelligent simply means you are able to align your intentions with your action. Your action reflects your intentions, and your action at the end of the day birth your intentions. So yes, again, this is brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. You can still join us in the Emotions Mastering class, Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Challenge. You can still join us. It is ongoing. It is for 28 days. We are just in day 4 already. So you can still join us, and you are going to get the previous challenges for the previous day, and you are on the previous days, and you are going to be able to join the group, share, learn, master your emotions by the end of the month. I guarantee you that as long as you're in the class, you are taking action, you are definitely going to get results. Another thing you can do is to get access to the class is just to join the academy. The academy is still open, but we are closing very soon. We are closing very, very soon for the year. So you can join the academy, and when you join the academy, you are going to get the class for free, because the class is part of the academy. So you can join the academy and you get a lot of other things. We also have Parenting on Your Knees ongoing, where parents pray for their children every day for 1 whole year. If you join the academy, you also have access to the class. But if you want Parenting on Your Knees, is a booklet for 3,000 naira. You can get it, and at the same time you join the class, where you get more details, more explanation every day on how to use the booklet and how to go about it. And of course, we have the Boss of You magazine. Yes, a magazine that literally helps you, partners with you to raise self-responsible and self-independent children. And my name is Enimi Orebo. I am the lead coach at the Visionary Parent Academy. We have other coaches. I am the lead coach. So let's go on. We are talking about becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. And the first thing we are looking at this week is emotional awareness, being aware of your emotions. Now, our emotions, like I said a while ago, is at the foundation of our choices, our behaviors, everything we do. When the way you feel, most times, if you are not intentional, if you are not aware, the way you feel will influence the way you act, whether towards your child or towards everything else around you. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I'll give you an example. As a parent, if you are overjoyed, you are happy. Let's say you are happy, and then you go shopping, and your child tells you, "Oh, mommy, buy this thing for me," because you are happy, right? You are just going to buy something for your child without even thinking. There are times that same thing your child asks for, because you are not in a good mood. You are not in a good mood. That same thing your child asks for. When your child asks for that thing, you are going to be triggered, like you are going to be angry. You may not even stop at, "I'm not buying for you." You can even yell at the child. A child was telling my one of my children's cousins, was telling my child that sometimes when they go out, their mom, when they go to church on Sunday, their mom buys ice cream for them on their way back. Sometimes when they go to church, they are coming back, they see the ice cream shop, and they ask their mom to buy for them. Their mom will just yell at them. "Is it every time I buy ice cream for you?" When they want to negotiate, the mom will just hit them to keep quiet. What do you make out of that? That is, that parent, for example, what she is doing, she is not intelligent with her emotions. And that is one of the things that happens. When you are not intelligent emotionally, you are going to cause more trouble in your parenting than you realize it. Because you are going to be inconsistent most of the time. Your mood will determine how you do things. And children, once they get away with something once, they are going to come. They will test you. They will pressure you. They will manipulate you. They will blackmail you. They want to see if they will get away with it this time. Imagine if your child asks you, "Oh, mommy, I need pizza. Buy pizza for me," and you just go and buy. Because especially if you have young children, toddlers, they don't understand that there is no money. You can tell your child, "Oh, I don't have money," and they see you bringing that money to buy petrol in your car. They're like, "Mommy, I thought you said you don't have money." They will believe you have money. They will not know that this money is the money I reserve to fill my gas, the money I reserve to buy food stuff. They will not even understand that. And even when you don't buy those things, they still will not understand. You know why? Because when they ask the other time, you bought for them. So now, why won't you buy for them? It is why many times children will cry and cry and cry non-stop. Shortly before Christmas, we're having a Christmas party in my church. So we're cooking. Because I teach in the children's department, I joined them to cook. So there was a woman there, her son, just a toddler, was coming to ask for meat. Each time the boy come, the man will say, "No, go." The boy kept on coming until the woman gave the boy. He came like 3-4 times, and she was like, "And that's what he does at home. You see this boy?" Yes, he will keep coming because he knows that he has come before. You were not in the right frame of mind, so you just shouted at him and left. So he has gone back. He has washed you. Now he has come again. Even though the food is public food, the man was trying to explain to him that, "Oh, it's public food though. I cannot give you. It's not my food. It's not your daddy's food, And later she went to start saying, "It is bitter." See, she caught it and she was saying, "It is bitter." The boy kept on coming. Because one, she has not trusted her. She knows that the mom is not trustworthy. So you are saying it's bitter. I know it is not bitter. Apart from it being meat, I know it's not bitter. I know that there are times you told me it's not bitter. There have been times you told me it's bitter and it's not bitter. So I don't trust your judgment. So I know it is not bitter. One thing. Secondly, I also know that if I come, if you are in a happy mood, you are going to give me. So they are going to keep coming. And guess what? It is going to lead to more frustration for the parents. It leads you to more frustration. Because sometimes you tell your child no. You really want that no to stand. But your child is not allowing that no stand. Because over the time, your no has not stood. So your child believes that, okay, Maybe when I pressure more, when I press more, the no is going to become a yes. Because you always act based on your emotions. Now, this is why it is not even negotiable to master your emotions in parenting. If you have any intention to parent intentionally, you must master your emotions. You can't afford to be random. You can't afford to be random. You can't afford to be spontaneous. Your child does something. Before he says Jack Robinson, you are hitting, you are smacking. You don't have control of your emotions. You can't afford to do that. As an intentional parent, a parent with a vision, you must always pause and think. Whatever you are doing must always align with your values, with your vision, with your intention at every given time. You can't afford to be random. Nah, you cannot. There's a big why. So it must be. It's not emotional. There are no emotions to it. It is why you must master your emotion. So again, my name is Enimi Orebo, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. You want to join us and learn more. The challenge is every day for 28 days. Every day we get one strategy a day, something we are going to reflect on, an activity we are going to carry out to help us master our emotions in the journey of our parenting. If you are not in for the challenge, I tell you, you are missing a great deal. If you are in the Visionary Parents Academy, please, and you are enjoying the challenge so far, please drop it in the comment section. Let everyone here know that we are not playing. Let everyone know that, as the Gen Zs say, I am not capping. I'm saying it as it is. So please, if you are here, I've seen Coach Dinandu, please drop what you have, how the challenge has been so far. Drop it and let people know that we are not playing in the Visionary Parents Academy. Yes, inconsistency doesn't build trust. It is what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't build trust. I have an uncle. Growing up, when my grandma was alive, my grandma would say, okay, I'll say it the way she used to say it. I remole koka. That's I'm from Edo. I'm an Edo girl. I'm Ishan. I'm an Ishan girl. If you are Ishan, you understand what I just said. My grandma would say, I remole koka. Whatever that means, let me translate the best I can. It simply means that amele koka, that you don't use his water to plant. Don't use his water to plant maize. Simply means that if you expect that if it's the rain, you plant your maize and expect that, okay, your maize will germinate, your maize will not germinate or may not germinate, because you cannot trust him. Were there times he actually did well? Of course. He's an amazing fellow. But see, that not being consistent, even when we went home for Christmas, everybody was saying, my mom was saying, your uncle is coming. Everybody, like, your uncle is coming today. Let's get something prepared for him. I said, I'll come and put all my energy, all my effort. He will not come. I thought that mommy will not come. My mom said he will come. I'm quite sure. I'm sure he will come. I'm sure. I said he will not come. I don't know. I think we went out or something. I was taking a nap. When I just heard his voice, I said, oh, really? Uncle, have you changed? Inconsistency actually makes people, your children, everyone around you, not to trust you. So let's go. Now, it is becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. Now, the very first thing you want to do is, I wish you were in the academy. We recorded a video the other day. We shared in the academy how we are going about the challenge and everything. And because, like I told them in the academy, it's not just about you, the parent, it's the entire family. If your children are also able to regulate their emotions, it is going to be easy for you. It's going to be easy for you greatly, to an extent, for you to also be able to be in control, for you to be able to parent intentionally. So it is why in this challenge, one of the things we are doing is carrying our children along. You are carrying your spouse along. You are carrying your children along. So every single thing you are doing, you are telling your children. In fact, we have a challenge for the children. You know that, and at the end of the month, we are going to celebrate our children for their role in it. So we are not doing it alone. Now, the first thing you want to do to becoming an emotionally intelligent, okay, she said the challenge has been falling scales off from my eyes. So the revelation is mind-blowing. Thank you, ma. Yes, it's a challenge that you really need to take. Every parent needs to take. If you have taken any emotionally intelligent class before, please just pause that and come and see this one with your two korokoro eyes, like we say. Now, the very first thing you want to do as a parent, you want to be aware of your emotions. It is the becoming an emotionally intelligent parent challenge. The very first thing you want to do, you want to be aware of your emotions, because your emotions are always influencing the things you are doing. You want to understand your emotions per time. And yesterday's challenge was for us to be able to check in with ourselves. And I gave them a simple tool. One of the most effective tools you can ever use to track your emotions was what I shared yesterday. Is there something you are going to find on Google? Nah. I can almost bet that you will not find it on Google. You will not find it anywhere. It is just pure revelational. The tool I gave them yesterday. And I tell you, if you can use that tool, you will always be able to be aware of your emotions. You are going to be super conscious of your emotions, because your emotions are actually what determines your reactions all of the time. Of course, except because you are not intelligent emotionally, you will tell yourself, okay, right now I am feeling angry. What I feel is anger. And you are going to sit down and ask yourself, what happens typically when I'm angry? When I'm angry, I am not thinking. When I'm angry, I am reactive, because then you now go back and ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this anger? You realize you are feeling angry because maybe, okay, you say, oh, a lot of things, this is why I am angry. You realize this, and you are able, you understand, you label your emotions. What am I feeling right now? I am feeling angry. This anger I am feeling can interfere with my best parenting intention, and I do not want it to happen that way. So what am I going to do? Because if you are angry, I guarantee you that you are going to see every behavior around you, your children's behavior, with that lens of anger. They do something, you are going to be instantly triggered. Yesterday morning, I got into my son's bathroom. Yesterday evening to this morning, no. The other day evening, I got into my son's bathroom and I saw a bucket clothes soaked inside. I was like, Now, because maybe the old me or anything, or the average parent will flip, especially when I ask him, you soaked your clothes. Why did you soak your clothes? When did you soak your clothes? He told me he soaked the clothes on Thursday. You soak clothes on Thursday and you wash clothes on Saturday morning. You didn't wash them. So on Friday, you came back, you played a great deal. You didn't wash the clothes. You soaked them. You did laundry. Almost all your clothes were washed on Saturday. You didn't wash the clothes. You soaked clothes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Wait, really? Really? Because I was in control of my emotions, I knew that I wasn't feeling any kind of emotion. Maybe if I was angry, if I was pressured, probably I would have jumped into and may not be reactive, like just yelling. I may have gone into lecturing mode. But because I was just in a safe place, it was easy for me to say, okay, why did you soak your clothes? And he gave me the excuse. I actually wanted to wash it, then he forgot. The following day he forgot. And that was it. I told him, okay, what you are going to do is late. Because normally what I would have asked him to do is take the clothes and wash this night. But somehow we've been having a little challenge. He's not been sleeping early like he used to. Sometimes he's not able to sleep until much more later. And he still has to wake up in the morning to go to school. He's just having a few personal issues. So I just felt, okay, I empathized with him. I said, okay, when you get back from school, because I won't say wash it first in the morning, because it's already too late for you now. So you need to sleep for 8 hours at least. You're supposed to sleep for 9 hours. If I say wake up 4:30 to wash these things, you are going to be cutting your sleep short. So what you are going to do is, when you get back from school, wash it first thing. I was able to have this kind of conversation calm, because I was just in a safe place. But the truth of the matter is, if I was already super pressured, angry, and I wasn't intelligent with my emotions at that time, is a major trigger. Yes, ma, is a major trigger. I wasn't in a safe place. I was angry. I was pressured. Something was already angry, vexing me. I wouldn't have been that calm. Maybe the least I would have done, I would have gone into a lecturing mode, start complaining, start bringing up history that happened before even Adam was created. That is what happened. Was it an emergency? I always say to them, it's not an emergency. That's something we need to realize when it comes to managing our emotions. It is never an emergency. He's going to wash it. The consequence of him washing it again now is, after washing it, I'm sure the clothes will still be smelling. You have to wash it repeatedly. Instead of him to just wash it once, rinse it and spread the clothes, you have to wash it like 4 or 5 times. Another consequence he had was, I told him, don't pour the water in the compound. You either open the gate, take the water to the road to pour it, or go to the drainage beside the gutter that leads out, pour it there. So him carrying bucket all the way down, that's enough consequence for him. He carries bucket there. He took another bucket to fetch water from the tap down there, when he could have just simply done his laundry beside the tap and pour it away. That was enough punishment for that, But when you are angry, if I was angry, I wouldn't have been able to realize, oh, this boy is having personal issues, probably why he even forgot to wash it. I wouldn't have been able to empathize with him. I wouldn't have been able to tell him the reason why he needed to actually not soak clothes next time. I wouldn't have been able to pass my warnings that if you soak it next time, this is the consequence. Because yes, it's not an emergency. Because I would just be jumping. It is why. And at the end of the day, I may have carelessly said a word I didn't intend to say. You know how some people can be. You will say one thing to now become a seed in them that will grow. It is what happens many times. You see parents carelessly saying something. I better come out for here with your ugly face. Please move away from here. Dundee United. We say some things that, I always say to people, parents, see, the world is harsh enough. They are constantly saying negative, hurtful things to your children. Constantly making your children doubt themselves, making your children wonder, really, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Then you as a parent, you now go ahead to do worse. You now go ahead to kind of validate what people are saying outside. You must be emotionally intelligent. You must be. Because if you are not emotionally intelligent, you will find yourself, you realize that, you see those things, you have a vision. You want a child. You want a certain... You have a vision, you know what you want from your child. But because you're not emotionally intelligent, you just go about doing things randomly. The other day, my son came from school and said a classmate told him he was born by mistake. I made a good laugh out of it. I told him when we were growing up, I remember we used to use these things also to insult each other. Growing up, them we're very ignorant. I told him, I said, one of the reasons we did this when we were growing up because we were very ignorant. Sometimes we didn't even mean them. Sometimes we didn't even understand what they meant. We just wanted to win verbal war. That was just it. You want to tell somebody something that will pain the person, you just open your mouth and say the very next thing that entered your mouth. I said, so it doesn't define you. It is nothing. It is not from a place of death. It is absolutely nothing. So it shouldn't mean any jack to you. And of course, you already knew that. Now imagine somebody had told him and said, you born by mistake. Then you now, as a parent, you now tell your child, are you sure I'm your mom at all? Are you sure they did not change you in the hospital? You don't behave like my child. What are you trying to do? You are validating that born by mistake that your child heard outside. You think, oh, it doesn't matter. Nah, it matters a great deal. This thing sow seeds in the heart of the child. The child begins to wonder, okay, am I really this? Am I really that? Before you know what is happening, your fine child you are raising is becoming something else. You are wondering. One of the things is because as a parent, you have been emotionally unintelligent. It is why you just, if the Visionary Parent Academy, one of our slogans is, it is not an emergency. One of our slogans, it is not an emergency. It is not an emergency. It is only an emergency when a house is burning. It's only an emergency when somebody's life is involved. Even if somebody tells you that A parent reached me one time that the daughter was caught in school with another girl. They were in a compromising position. They were touching each other. So I said, okay. And I was asking the parent. She expected me to be like giving. I said, it is not an emergency. And she was like, okay, it is not an emergency. This should be an emergency. I said, it is still not an emergency because what has happened already. There is no drama you are going to do now that will make that, we erase what has happened. It has happened already. So if you are not calm, you are not going to handle it well. If you are not calm, if you treat it as an emergency, hey, there's a fire on the mountain, let's start running, you are just going to be all over the place. You are not going to be able to articulate your thoughts. You are not going to be able to find out from your child, thank you so much, your journey. We learn to calm down. It's not an emergency. You are not going to be able to find out what is happening, why it happened. So you need to be able to reason. And being all over the place will not help you reason. So yes, as heartbreaking as it seems, as disappointing as it sounds, it is still not an emergency. An emergency is a situation where if you take action now, you can prevent what is going to happen. Someone is lighting, like you're in a filling station, someone is lighting a cigarette, and the fuel attendant is putting fuel in the car. It's an emergency. Because if you don't take action, there's not going to be remedy for that. It's an emergency. That is it. So you see that it is not an emergency. You need to calm down, to be in a very calm place, to be able to meet your child and find out what happened. If you are not in a good place, you will not be able to meet your child and find out what happened. You just realize that you carry cane, you will flog, I will flog this demon out of you. You are possessed, you want to embarrass me, you want to disgrace me, I'll flog this demon out of you. By the time you flog the demon out of the child, the root cause of it, you have not flogged it out of the child. You have not flogged it out of the child. Because there was something that happened. Your child did not have the skills to navigate that probably made her take that option. So your child may now stop that particular thing, may not do it again, or you may not hear reports, or they will learn better how to hide it. But you see, that skill your child needs to be able to navigate the cause of that thing in the first place, you will not be able to teach your child because your emotions are all over the place. So as a parent, you must be intelligent emotionally. And I was telling you that the very first thing you need to do to be emotionally intelligent is to be aware of your emotions. You need to be constantly aware of your emotions. You need to understand that your emotions will influence your decision. If you are overjoyed, like Herod, you are going to tell your child, name everything, give me a blank check. Give me a blank check. It is why they say very wealthy parents, they spoil their children. You know why? Because Shebi is it not just this thing? Abel, let me buy it for my child. Is it not this thing? How much is it? They keep buying. They will not be able to strike the balance. They will not be able to strike the balance because they have all the money. So they'll give their children all they want. Because that emotion, that place they are, they will not be able to strike the balance. But when they are kind of intentional, especially with their emotions, they will know that, okay, because I'm making the money, I'm always happy, I'm always in a relaxed state. It doesn't mean I should always give my child all everything my child wants. So I'm not going to let, I made some money today, I won this contract again. Last week I won the contract, there's excess money. I won the contract, there's excess money. It doesn't mean I should just be giving my children what they want. No. I should be able to have a vision, know exactly the kind of child I want to raise. I should be able to understand the actions, the choices that will help me raise my child. And I should be able to structure my home in such a manner that I am not responding based on emotion. Now, this is where the family constitution comes in. As a parent, you must have a family constitution now. You must have it. If you don't have it, then I don't know why you don't have it. Last week, we had a class on creating a family constitution. Please go back to that video, and if you were not in the class, go back to that video and learn. We have the material with us. It is now 3,000 naira, your family constitution. You can take, I don't think I have it on my table. Okay, I have it on my table. You can print it You can buy it for 3,000 naira, my family constitution, and print it. This is mine. It's been for a very long time. If you don't want to buy it for 3,000 naira, you can join the Visionary Parent Academy and we'll give you. You have your family constitution, so it guides your decision. So even if you have all the money in the world, you know exactly where to draw the line. So if you don't want to buy, you don't have the money to buy, you don't feel like buying, or you're not such person that likes to pay money for parenting knowledge, just go to our last video. You are going to get all the information you need to craft your family constitution. Every information you need to craft a family constitution, you are going to get it. However, if you want it easy, we already have done a copy easy for you. And when you join the Visionary Parent Academy, you get it and you can tweak it. You don't have to use it hook, line, and sinker. You can actually tweak it to use. Yes, excitement may not allow you to maintain the balance if you are not intelligent. Absolutely, absolutely, So let's go. Now, the first things you are going to do as a parent who wants to be emotionally intelligent is to understand how you feel per time. How am I feeling? When you wake up in the morning, for example, you want to prepare your child for school. How are you feeling at that time? Most times when you wake up in the morning, you want to hurry up. You don't want to be late for school. You don't want your children to be late for school. So you are feeling pressured. You are feeling anxious. That anxiety can actually come in the way. It can make you start nagging at your teenagers. It can make you start nagging at your twins. You start nagging. You start calling them names. Lazy. How many times have I told you this? You don't learn. You don't hear. Is your life. Throw your life away. Now, you are going to be saying things you do not want to say. For your toddlers, one of the things you can do is you can begin to, we are running late. Because we are running late, okay, let me tie your shoes for you. Let me button your shirt for you. Let me do this for you. Because you are anxious. You're not in charge of your emotions at that time. You don't want them to be late. You don't want to be late for work. Your emotions can be all over the place. So at every given time, understand how you are feeling. How am I feeling now? I'm feeling anxious. When I'm feeling anxious, what do I usually do? I overparent. Because when you are helping your children do what they can do for themselves, is you overparenting. I overparent. What other thing can I do? I become a nagging parent. I become an insensitive parent. I can even become an authoritarian parent because I'm just giving orders and my kids are not, they are being kids, their age. I'm hitting. I can be that. At this time, their opinions don't count. So what do you want to do? You want to find a way to fix that. Understand your emotions, how you feel per time. Know that your emotions can trigger you. They trigger you. You had a bad day at work. You are coming. I was watching a video the other day. The children were telling the parents that, and telling the mom that one of the things you do we don't like is that when you come back from work, sometimes you are very angry. When we greet you, you don't answer. So we don't like it. And the woman was saying, sorry, it is because sometimes I'm coming back from work, I'm tired. When I get back home, I expect to meet food ready and all of that. People will be pressing phone, so it gets me angry. That is it. And you know that, okay, you had a bad day at work. Maybe you have a shop, your customers have refused to pay you. Maybe you have you work in an office, your boss just gave you a headache, your colleagues stressed you. Or better still, you were driving back home, you had a flat tire, just had a bad day somehow. The truth of the matter is, if you're not intelligent emotionally, if you're not intelligent emotionally, you are going to transfer that anger, aggression. You will realize that it is not what your children did. It is not what they did or what they are doing. One of the earliest wake up I got was when my kids were much younger. I remember then, I think my daughter she's 11 now. Was she 3 or 2? I don't remember. She was very young then. That was the very first time I woke up to intentional parenting. Then the parenting, there was parenting was not such a big deal on Facebook. Because I remember I actually was looking for a parenting group to join. I didn't find. I had to create mine then. My Kids, My World. From My Kids, My World to My Kids, My Joy. Before it's now the Visionary Parent Academy on Facebook. You can look for us on Facebook and join us. The Visionary Parent Academy with Enimi Orebo. There were no parenting on Facebook then. It was much more later after I had opened mine and I saw one parent right or something like that. What happened was that I was taking a nap and my children were just playing. They were being children. They were playing all over the place, just being the children that they were. And I was so angry. I was yelling at them. Why? Because I needed to take a nap. I needed to rest. And they were disturbing me. That was it. The same play they will play ordinarily, I will even join them to play. The same play they will play ordinarily, I will cheer them up. I will cheer them on rather to play. But because I was not in a good place emotionally, that play became a trigger for me. I was upset. I was angry that they were playing. That is what happens most of the time. So you need to constantly check your emotions. Know what you are feeling per time. How am I feeling? How you are feeling is going to affect how you parent your child. It is going to make you. And you know what? Let me give you a simple thing. Don't wait, because how you feel, when you realize, okay, I'm feeling angry, what you want to do is you want to step away. Yes, overparenting. Thank you, sir. Yes, being anxious, for example, can make you overparent. Being fearful can make you overparent. A couple of months ago, I think a few months ago, I put on Facebook, I said, why don't you allow your 10-year-old to put on the gas? And many parents were telling me, no, we don't allow my 10-year-old. My 10-year-old do not light up the gas. My 10-year-old do not light up the gas. They were, when some of them were now, some of them that chose to engage further, they were talking about how they've experienced things before in the past and all of that. I said, I get it. You had pre-childhood experiences. A lot of things actually impacted your parenting now, kind of induced that fear in you. One of the fears I have, should I call it fear? Trust. Just recently, about last year or the other year, I realized that my siblings and I, we have trust issues. And I never knew where that trust issues came from. I've always wondered. We have so much trust issues. I always wonder, where did this trust issue come from? Like, it was that year, I think the other year, somehow, like just a revelation, I just got it. I said, yes, this is the foundation of our trust issues. Growing up, we're in church. I attended I'm a Catholic, a born Catholic. It's just because of my children that I attend Redeemed Church, because I want a church close to my children, where my children can know the Bible for themselves, where they will study the Bible. Those kind of, if you're a Catholic, you know exactly what I mean. I wanted a church where my children can understand Bible, study the Bible for themselves. That is why we are in Redeemed Church close to me. And because I wasn't really getting that thing, I even had to join them in the class, in the children's department, to teach children. Okay, so we're Catholic. I grew up in Benin City. This Holy Cross Cathedral Mission Road. If you're in Benin City, you should know Holy Cross Cathedral Mission Road. One year, we're much younger. It was on New Year, either New Year Eve or Christmas Eve. We were in church. You know what they do, even till now in churches, people do that when when children are sleeping, they just spread wrappers on the floor. You see children go there to lie down and sleep. It was a norm then. Even till now, it's a norm now. People still do it. That was what happened that day. And lo and behold, right inside the church, a baby was stolen. It was either on New Year Eve or Christmas Eve. I know it was one of those Christmas Eve. In Catholic Church, when it's 12 midnight, if it's Christmas Eve, if it's 12 midnight, that is when they will shout, Happy New Year. Everybody will be happy. We'll just run to the front, to the altar, to get, just like be happy, celebrating with everybody. If it's New Year Eve, the same thing. When it's 12 midnight, you hear Happy New Year. If it's Christmas, Happy Christmas, everybody starts, everybody's happy and all over the place, jubilating. That was what happened. So it was either Happy Christmas or Happy New Year, and the parents ran forward. By the time the parents got back, the baby was missing. Till I left that church, I think I was a twin then, maybe my either my early teenage years or my preteen years. Till we left that place, we left that place shortly before I got into the university, there was no news that the baby was found. So if right inside the church, how growing up, the mindset we had that the church is a sacred place. In Catholic Church, you cannot come inside church and be doing anyhow. Back then when we were growing up, it was so sacred. You go and receive Holy Communion, you do like this, you are walking like the next saint, the angel Gabriel. You are so sinless. That was it. You are in church to behave. It was right inside the church that a baby was stolen. So that impacted me and my siblings negatively. That it today, if I'm in church, I'm carrying my bag. My eyes are on my kids. Even though my kids are grown, they can take care of themselves. My eyes are on them. The impact of that thing has not left me. That is what happens a lot of the time. So when parents were saying, oh, they can't allow their children to put on the gas at 10 years old, the truth of the matter is, now that is fear, emotion of fear. And I always say to parents that, see, opportunities for our children to grow into responsible adults is limited daily. Technology has come to do a lot of good and somehow a lot of bad. Technology has made a lot of opportunities that our children have to build relevant life skills, independence, self-responsibility, and what is it called? Patience. What is it called? Resilience. What is it called? Critical thinking. They are no longer there. Technology has taken it away now. You know, processes, the process of waiting, the process of getting things done was a great way we learned delay gratification. The process. Now, are there processes again? There are no processes. If you look at things around, where are the processes? Where are the processes? In those days, you put yam on fire. Okay. In those days, you put yam on fire and you are waiting for it to... Now, you have a machine that boils the yam, pounds the yam at the same time. All you need to do is just to peel the yam. And in the next... Before you know what is happening, you have a machine now that you can just take the yam, put it inside. All you need to do is to put it. Then the machine will just do what they call peel the yam, wash, boil, pound, and bring out the food. Even soup. The other day I saw someone was advertising ogbono soup. It's a 3 minutes cook soup. Are you kidding me? Just put hot water on fire, just throw the thing, and in the next 3 minutes you bring it out and eat. The processes that taught us delay gratification, that taught us self-discipline, that taught us to wait, that taught us resilience, that taught us to make mistakes and learn from our mistakes, the processes are all gone. Now, the other day, parents was telling me that, oh, their children's school, the secondary school, they don't write on the board. They have a tablet that the children use to, they have a tablet where all the topics, all the subjects are put in. I said, fantastic. The very first time I heard about that, I was elated. I thought, wow, this is very beautiful. In fact, I'm going to have my children attend this school. But when I sat down and thought about it, I said, nah, do you know what copying on the board, do you know what it does for the child? The child learns focus, they learn attention, they learn resilience, they make mistakes. The teacher tell them, you did not copy this thing correctly. They cancel, they go back, resilience. They are being tough, they are toughened up. You know, all that is gone, is taken away. And in the next couple of years, they are going to say, no school should even write on the board again. All those processes are gone. They will just be gone. Was it not Swedish? In Sweden, was it Sweden? Coach Gennaro, please let me confirm if it's Sweden, that they have gone back. You know, when technology came in the classroom, they embraced it so much. But now they have gone back to say, no, technology is doing more harm than good. So let's balance it. They have gone back. But for us here, those small opportunities that we build skills with, they are gone. We no longer, they are fast going. Then the ones we can use as parents, small, have your children prepare meals, have them do chores in the house, have them run small errands. We are also taking them away because we don't have control of our emotions, because of fear, because of anxiety, because of pressure, because of envy, because of a lot of emotions that we are not controlling. So when parents are talking about it's a no, when they were growing up, there was a fire accident. I say it is fear. Emotion of fear is stopping you from allowing your child to grow independence. That emotion of fear. Yes, it's scary. Technology is doing our kids. It's scary. If it's not even about exposed to the internet, what they watch, what they see. Even take that away. Technology has come to make life super easy. Easy. And I was telling my son, I always tell my son, even yesterday I was telling my son again that when God created Adam and Eve, after the fall of man, he told Adam, go and till the soil. That simply means go and work hard. Tilling the soil is you working hard, because it's not everybody that tills the soil these days. You work in an office, it's not tilling the soil. So work hard. So as a child, you must learn to work hard. What does working hard mean? It means pushing yourself. It's not digging soil. It's not carrying something on your head. It's not hawking under the street, under the hot sun. That is not hard work. Hard work simply means that push yourself away from your comfort zone. It is hard to leave your comfort zone. It is super hard. Now you are doing the hard work when you are pushing yourself from your comfort zone. It can be the last time you got a B, you want to get an A. For you to get an A, you need to read extra 30 minutes every day. And that 30 minutes you are watching television is fun. You are going to tell yourself, nah. You are going to deny yourself of that television and put it into 30 minutes studying. That is the working hard that you are expected to work hard. So you see, those small opportunities our children we had to work hard is no longer there. Everything is just super easy. See now, you want to make research. I remember when I was doing my project work in school, I literally slept in the library. Then the internet we just had few business centers around. So I'll go to the internet, I'll browse a few. I'll go to the library, I'll look for books all over. But now guess what? With apps like ChatGPT, your child can write a full project. They can write a full project. And God bless them that they have a lecturer who is a Dundee United, who is not technically inclined, who does not even know how to detect perfection and know that no man is perfect, that this perfect work is a work of AI. The lecturer will just say. So, and our children, they will not be able to build small skills they need to thrive. Skills like resilience, skills like tough skin, skills like authenticity. This is who I am. I am authentic. I am not envious. I'm not in competition with you. They will not be able to build those skills. Technology has made it so. And as parents, we are even making it worse by not being in charge of our emotions. We don't control emotions. Emotions are controlling us. So I said to them, so those that engaged me further in the conversation, I said, you see, the issue here is fear. Your emotion of fear is taking over you. And if the emotion takes over you, and you know the irony of this whole thing, when our children are much younger, when we're supposed to build these skills in them, we don't build the skills in them. They get to a stage, we demand that these skills should be applied. Where is it coming from? They don't have the skills. It is why you see children, teenagers, they will not be able to reason on their own, navigate life confidently, because we did not give them opportunities to build these skills. Now, whether you give them opportunities to build these skills or not, a time will come, life will naturally demand these skills from them. Someone told my son the other day that he was born by mistake, and my son was upset. No, my son wasn't upset. I was telling the parent yesterday, the parent was upset that what did I do about it? I was like, what am I supposed to do about it? Growing up, we said these things to each other. My son is learning to be tough. So I'm glad when my son came back, I asked him how he took it. It wasn't a big deal. He said something that he knows that the children in this area, they have loose tongues. So they say anything and that's what he said. They open their mouth and say the next thing that enters their mouth. So it's not deep. Now, It's not that deep. Guess what? The parent was telling me, oh, this is why she doesn't like this type of school at all. She doesn't want this type of school for her children. She doesn't like it. I said, good and fine, because they are rough, they are uncultured. Good and fine. They may be rough and uncultured. You see, as your child is going, people are going to come at your child. Those that will genuinely have something about your child they don't like. Maybe they don't know how to construct their words. They cannot give constructive criticism. Instead, it's destructive criticism they can give. They are going to come and give destructive criticism. Those that will come because they are envious, those that will come because they are bitter, they will come. So if your child is not hearing these things now and seeing what is the big deal about them, when you don't ever, because you cannot cage your child forever. You didn't build a bubble and throw your child inside. So when the time comes, right, and those things, your child is hearing them, what is your child supposed to do? What is your child supposed to do? They will not have that street stamina, like I called it, street stamina. They'll be broken. I remember someone said something one time ago. A woman, someone actually called her baby ugly. And the next thing she came online, she was crying, and she was saying, for all of you that call my baby ugly, it will not be well with you. She was crying. It gets so much to me when you call my baby ugly. I said, really? What about people that will say your baby doesn't look like your husband? Are you sure your baby is your husband's baby? Some people will even go as far as forging documents to come and present it. AI is trending now. They can even go and bring you and another man, match you, and say this is the father of your baby. What about those people? What will you do? Really, it is becoming crazy, really, and we can't afford to shield our children. So as a parent, you must be in charge of your emotions. So back to the post I made on Facebook. Now the question is, will you allow fear to prevent your child from becoming independent? Will you allow fear? The same way you will say, my child cannot cook because my child is 10. I don't want my child to go and burn herself, or burn the house. The same way you will say, my child cannot walk from here to there. I don't want vehicle to to hit my child. The same way you will say, I will not allow my child to sweep his hand. The same way you say, I will not allow my child to talk to the neighbor, to go to the neighbor's house because the neighbor may do XYZ. The same way. So at the end of the day, who are you raising? You are raising a jelly. Why? Because of your emotions are not checked. Fear. So for those that bother to engage me, I said to them, if you allow your 10-year-old to light the gas, right? What is your fear? That the gas will catch fire. Now that you are more reasonable, sit down. How does gas catch fire? If a gas is going to catch fire with your 10-year-old, it simply means there is something wrong with that gas. It's going to catch fire even if you light up the gas. The thing is, you say, okay, if the gas catches fire, as an adult, I know what to do. My 10-year-old may not know what to do. It simply means you have not taught your 10-year-old. So what do? You're going to teach your 10-year-old basic things, basic kitchen safety, gas safety. My cylinder is outside. You're going to put your cylinder outside so that your cylinder will not catch fire. You're going to tell your child something like, okay, when you come to the kitchen, don't just go straight to light up the burner. First of all, try to see if there's gas smelling. Sniff around the kitchen like, if you perceive gas, then you know that maybe there is something. Check the knobs. If the knobs are turned on, the gas is leaking from there, smelling from there, then turn it off. Look at the knobs. Turn it off. Wait for a while. When the smell fades, then you light the matches. You tell your child. Now, if there is an issue of gas, the gas is lighting as usual, turn it off quickly. If the explosion, get the fire extinguisher. This is how it works. Get it. Teach your child these basic safety rules they need to operate in the kitchen. And that your fear of emotion that is sabotaging, put it away. That is it. Our emotions are going to come in the way of our parenting, our best intentions, if we don't check them. If we don't check them, they are going to come in the way of our best parenting. Now, this is where we have this becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. That is going to happen for 28 days. 28 days. Now, they said it takes 21 days to get into a habit, right? Now imagine if you are taking action, because one of the things I'm saying is that one of the things I say in the academy is that if you don't take action, you are not getting results. There is no magic. You are not getting results. If you take action, you get results. If you don't take action, there's nothing anyone can do. So the emotions mastering class is ongoing. Follow the class. Take action. Learn what you are supposed to learn. Carry out what you are asked to carry out. And I guarantee you that as long as you take action. I wasn't like this. I remember one time my daughter hissed at me. Yes. Then was she not 8, 7, 8 or there, but it's been a long while. I don't know what I was saying. She hissed at me. And I said to myself, Chineke, my mom used to say to us, you that I pulled out, you know. So I said to myself, this little girl that I pulled out, this tiny creature hissing at me. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I just ignored her. Because I already knew as her dad that it is not an emergency. I knew as her then that the roof was not falling. Nobody was dying. It was she hissed at me, and there was nothing more to it. So what did I do? I sat down and because I have always known that there's something called determinism. Things don't happen in vacuum. There is always something that happens. Some behaviors are learned. Many behaviors are learned. Behaviors are always a communication. They are communication. Your child is always trying to communicate something to you when they behave or misbehave or something happens. So when she hissed at me, I told myself it's not an emergency. It's a communication. So what is she communicating? I need to sit down first of all and have a conversation with myself. Then another thing, I have a conversation with my child. Then I went, yes. Then I asked myself, I said, okay, hissing. Where is that hissing coming from? It was then I remembered that I used to work, when I was in Lagos, I was working in Ikoyi in one firm. One day, my manager said to me, Enime, if I didn't know you to be the kind of good-natured person you are, I would say you are rude. I said, Mr. Vincent, what I do? He said to me, you always hiss. You are always hissing. You sat and you hissed at me. I called you. You came here. Before you started, you hissed at me. And I was like, daughter of Zion, you called me a good-natured fellow. He didn't use good-natured. He actually used some positive words, which I don't remember. Daughter of Zion like me, hissing at you. My oga, you were my manager. Who born me to hiss at you? Where? Why? Where? From? How? He started telling me instances that I hiss. I said, really? Me hissing? I never knew I used to hiss unprovoked, randomly. It was my unconscious expression of maybe a certain emotion, maybe tiredness, maybe anger, maybe unwillingness to, I don't know. I would just hiss. I never even knew. Even my husband said it one day, like, if I don't know you very well, I'll think you are rude because you're always hissing. It was the same period. That's when I said, wow. Then I remember that it's something my dad used to do. That used to annoy me. That was even when I realized that my dad was not doing it intentionally. Because I used to be super angry. My dad is someone that, like, because of the mindset we have about my dad is melancholic. Always complaining, always nagging, always on your case. You know, melancholic, they easily get angry. Things just, then they quick, now small thing, they vex them. And my dad now, someone that is not emotionally intelligent like that. So he's angry, he's not they are sensitive. That's the word I'm looking for. They are sensitive. So, and he's reacting to it. So because of that, I just felt his hissing was another thing to annoy us. You can tell my dad, your food is ready. He will hiss at you. That was it. My daddy can tell you, give me a glass of water. You give him a glass of water. Before he takes from you, he hiss at you. So I used to be super angry, like At some point, I just developed thick skin because, in those days now, your dad, you couldn't talk to your dad. Who born you where? You go and tell my daddy that you're always eating. I just born. So sometimes I'm just going to meet him. I'm just like doing my ear like this. I don't know if you understand, if you've ever done that before, so that you don't hear the thing the person is saying. I don't know how to call it. You are making a kind of sound. You are not making the sound out. You make the kind of sound that kind of from your ear, as if you are making the sound with your ears. You will not hear, because my dad will hear. It was when Mr. Vincent said that I realized that, the first thing that hit me was exactly what my dad does. It simply means that I may have learned this thing from my dad without even realizing it. So when my daughter hissed, because I sat down to process it, I realized, whoa, my daughter may have actually learned this thing from me. Maybe she was doing it before, it was not loud enough, I didn't notice. So I remember I sat her down and I told her, Pearl, you hissed at me. It is very rude to hiss at anyone, let alone your mom. You don't do that. And she was like, Mommy, when did I hiss at you? I told her when. She was not like, she didn't know. She didn't realize she hissed at me. She now asked me, how did I hiss? She asked me, how did I hiss? So I remember after I told a friend of mine, we're living in the same compound, then I told her that, see what my daughter did, and I also want you to come from another angle to talk to her. Remember, I've always told you people that we should increase the voices in the heads of our children. I told her, see what she did, see exactly what I told her. So you are not going to tell her the exact things I told her, but you are going to talk to her in a different way that you should be more conscious of it. And I tell you, since then, this should be over. My daughter is 11 now. This thing happened. That when she was 8 or 7. She has never hissed since then at me. Once in a long while, the siblings report to me, Pearl hissed at me. She has never ever hissed at me or any adults around her ever since then. She became conscious of that thing. So if I wasn't calm, in control of my emotion, maybe I would have just gone ahead, beat, yell, do all sorts of manners. But because I was conscious, I knew that it was not an emergency. No matter what is seen, if a life is not going to be involved, it is not an emergency. Yes, you just block your ear in a way, not with my hands, so you block your ear. Yes. Normalize hearing some words. If I would have just maybe I would beat her, because then I used to be very, when my kids were, I remember when my oldest son was 3, when I beat him like this, and sometimes I would kick, I would slap, I would kick. I would be so angry. I would just kick at him, slap, hit him, and all of that, Then I'll come back and tell myself, what did I just do? Was I okay? Or maybe something entered me, and tomorrow I'll still do that same thing, So as a parent, we must always understand that being emotionally intelligent is not even negotiable in the journey of our parenting. And like I've told you, one way for you to achieve emotional intelligence, one of the very first ways is for you to constantly know how you are feeling, because the way you feel will always influence how you respond. The way you feel will determine how you respond. So if you are constantly conscious of how you are feeling, and you tell yourself, see, I am angry right now, that's what we call labeling your feelings. Always label your feeling. In the Visionary Parent Academy, I gave them a non-Google label. It's something you cannot get on Google. Strategy. If you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, please go and Google it. If you find it on Google, maybe Nami put them there. Nami go put them there. If you find it on Google, come back and what do I do now? Come back and collect your word. Just share the link with me, and you collect back your money for this emotions mastering class. You will not get it. The trick I gave them. To always monitor your emotions. And because the emotions mastering class is not free, I can't give you the trick here now. If I give you the trick here, what are they paying for? What did they pay for? You bear with me. So no, you always need to monitor your emotions. know that your emotions will always influence how you respond to your children. And do not let your emotions influence how you respond to your children, because your emotions doesn't care. So next week we'll come here again and we'll take this in week 2. So this week is all about emotional awareness. Be aware of your emotions, how you feel, how you are feeling per time, and how you feel may be induced by so many things. The pressure around you, your childhood programming, your thoughts at the moment, things around you. That is it. For example, you are someone who is always consuming online content, consuming all these lifestyle coaches and lifestyle content creators. You are seeing people putting flashy things, beautiful things. You may be feeling you are not doing enough. That feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of you are not fulfilled, you are not self-fulfilled, that feeling of, oh, I wish you were the one in their shoes, you know. If you even see people around you doing things and they are making so much progress, you see you are struggling, all these things will constantly come in your way and they will constantly weigh you down, and you want to respond to your child from that. So we can get our feelings induced from things around us, from even the way we were raised. I told you my story, why trust is, I realized it that in my family we have trust issues. Even amongst ourselves, I'm not proud to say, amongst ourselves we have trust issues. Like, it is just me that has become so intentional that I realize that no, these are my siblings, they are not like this. These are my siblings, we've come a long way, nothing can possibly go wrong. It is just me that I'm trying to just unlearn, see how I can heal from that incident that happened. It is enough trauma to traumatize anyone. So that can actually influence our emotions all of the time. So fear, you have fear also. What is your fear? You know, oh, another thing is I don't want to raise my children the way I was raised, can also always come in the way. That fear of how you were raised, you were brutal, you were traumatized, you were not raised properly, can induce fear that will also come in the way of your parenting. So hey, dear parents, it is time to wake up and do better with our emotions so that we can raise the children we actually want to see. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to join our academy, the Visionary Parents Academy, you can do what to send a message. We are going to close soon for the year. Yes, so that we can start taking admission for next year. We're going to close soon for the year. We also have the emotions mastering class going on. We are just in day 4. You can join us today. It's just 7,000 naira only. You can join us today, so that we can go practical in this emotions mastery journey together, you know. And yes, we have the Boss of Me magazine also. It's just 1,000 naira. It's love season, Valentine. You want to take it to teach your children what love actually means. We have the Visionary Parents Academy has a lot of amazing resources. I can't begin to tell you what you benefit when you join us. You are going to benefit a great deal. So thank you so much for joining. So if you want any of our resources or you want to join the academy, please just leave it in the comment section, and either I or any of the admins will answer you. Or if you have my number, you can also send it directly to the WhatsApp group, and my WhatsApp number, I will be glad to take it. Lastly, I need you to do me a favor, please. We want to grow. So what we want you to do for me is, you are listening to this class absolutely free. I'm sure you learned something from this class. So what you want to do, so please copy the link. Copy the link from this class. Then just take a summary, something you learned from this class, something you are running away with from this class. Just make a small summary of it, attach a link to it, and share. You have your church WhatsApp group, share it there. You have your children's PTA WhatsApp group, share it there. You have your old school, your alumni WhatsApp group, share it there. You belong to Facebook communities, you belong to your neighborhood communities, share it there. Apart from us growing, we are also all learning together, so that at the end of the day, we raise a society. So I beg you to share the link. Share the link. Tell them there's an academy called the Visionary Parents Academy. Tell them there's a coach called Enimie Orebo, and she's doing a great job helping parents, and we'll be really glad, and we'll say that is a thank you we'll get from you for doing this to us. And for us to listening to this free. And for us to say thank you, we'll come here and do more videos and go more live. If you check this video, this YouTube channel is not monetized. It simply means that everything we are doing here is for free until God helps us and is monetized. So what does that tell you? You can actually tell us thank you by sharing our link, our video, and mentioning us in the right places. You can also give us an invite to call us to speak at your children's schools, your churches, your communities. We can speak. We are in Songota. We are in Songota. We are in Lagos. We are in Delta State. We are in Benue State. We just are in places that we can travel anywhere to come to your location to teach you. I tell you, you will have value, so much value when you engage us. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.